Hi everyone, welcome to the class, the fourth class of the unit solid state. Previously, we have discussed about the seven crystal system, that is cubic, tetragonal, orthorhombic, monoclinic, hexagonal, rhombohedral, and triclinic. So with the possible variations as primitive and centered unit cell, their edge lengths and axial angles, so we discussed in the last class. Now, we'll try to continue with the concept of the understanding of the structure with respect to solid state. So it is with close packed structures. So how the particles are arranged in the solid physical state. So what are the levels of understanding the structures of the complete packing? So that we'll try to discuss under close packed structures in three different ways, that is one-dimensional arrangement, two-dimensional arrangement, and the three-dimensional arrangement. So then we'll go with the calculation of the particle space occupied by learning with the help of packing efficiencies. So that we'll try to take in the next class. So present in the class, we'll try to discuss the close packed structures in detail. Now, if we understand what is a close packed structure, now it is to imagine with. So in understanding all the complete structural level, so in the solid state, we are assuming the particles, it may be an atom, molecule, or ion, as a solid sphere. Like a hard sphere, we are going to assume the particles, and in the arrangement of that particular hard spheres, so what are all the different ways so we can get the structure of a solid, we'll try to discuss. Now, to understand in simple, the close packed structures, if we take, so as we know, the constituent particles are closely packed in solids. So they are closely packed and there is minimum space between the particles. So the arrangement of closely packed solid particles as the constituent particles in it is referred to as the close packed structure. Now, as I said earlier, the constituent particles, so which may be an atom, so atoms as constituent particles in a given solid, or ions, or molecules. So whatever is the constituent particles, so which are considered as identical hard sphere. So each particle is assumed as a hard sphere and build up the three-dimensional structure in the three steps. The first one, so in one dimension, so how the close packing takes place in one dimension, then close packing in two dimension, and the close packing in three dimension. So in three levels, we'll try to understand the complete close packed structures. So close packing in one dimension, close packing in two dimension, and close packing in three dimension. Now to understand all the levels of structural levels of the solids, you need to imagine this concept very clearly. All the particles are assumed as a hard sphere, and we know that spheres will touch each other only at points, and there may be some empty spaces between the arrangement. So that information we are going to learn as voids, VOIDS, so which are the empty spaces between the particles, that we'll try to discuss in detail. Now we'll start our discussion about the close packed structure with the first one. So that is, so with the close packing in one dimension, so we'll try to start first. Close packing in one dimension. Now what is a one dimension arrangement of the constituent particles? So as we know that, so the particles as a solid hard sphere. So if such particles are arranged in a row arrangement of the solid particles or the constituent particles, so will considered as a one dimension close packing or close packing in one dimension. So if we observe, so in one dimension close packed structure, the particles are arranged in a row. So that is one after the other. So whereby each particle is in contact with neighboring two particles, we are going to assume. So that we'll try to relate in detail. So the diagram will be more illustrative for you to understand in a better way. Now assume, so each of these so indicates a constituent particle. Now such constituent particles, so if they are arranged in a row arrangement, such arrangement of all the particles so in a row will give its one dimension structure. So one dimension structure indicates the arrangement of constituent particles in a row. So you can indicate this as a one dimension structure. Now here we are understanding few more important significant informations that we'll try to learn. Now if we relate in this arrangement, each particle is in contact with two of its neighbors. Now assume this particle, any one particle in the middle you can take. Now whatever I am shading, so you can observe that particular constituent particle. Now for this constituent particle, so this left side there is a particle which is in contact, and there is right side there is a particle in contact. This particle as well as this particle. So hence whatever the particles if you take, so for each particle, so we are going to see left side there is a contact with one particle, and with right side there is a contact with another particle. So hence each particle is in contact with two of its neighbors. So that is what the significance in one dimension arrangement. So in one dimension arrangement, each particle is in contact with two of its neighbors. So such neighboring particles will give an important definition term in the solids to understand, which is coordination number. So coordination number of solids, if we take whatever is the arrangement, whether it is in one dimension, two dimension or three dimension, the nearest neighboring particle for a given particle in the arrangement of solids is called as its coordination number. Now in one dimension, each particle is in contact with two of its neighbor, hence its coordination number in one dimension will be 2. So coordination number so will be 2. So that will be indicated as n is equal to 2, where n we can consider as a coordination number just to give a significance here. So that we'll try to understand again. So now what is a coordination number? It is the nearest neighboring particle in a crystal lattice is known as its coordination number. So whether it is in one dimension, two dimension or three dimension, whatever is the arrangement of a crystal lattice if you take, so the nearest neighboring particle for a given particle is called as its coordination number. Now, if you observe with this diagram of one dimension arrangement, so any particle if you take, so will be in contact with two of its neighbors. For example, if you take another one, assume this another shaded particle. Now left side there is one particle is in contact, right side there is another particle is in contact, and for this particle again coordination number is 2. Like this, if you take any particle, so its coordination number will be only 2 except the terminal particles, whatever you are going to see in the arrangement. So leaving the terminal particles, any particle in one dimensional arrangement will have its coordination number as 2. So try to remember this information. So what is the coordination number and what is the value of coordination number in various arrangement in the solids will be a very important topic to understand the arrangement. Hope this one-dimensional arrangement is clear. Now we'll try to learn with the two-dimensional arrangement. So it is simple. So once we understand the arrangement of particle in a row, so in the two-dimensional arrangement, we are placing another layers above to it. So once one-dimensional arrangement is done, so we'll go by understanding the two-dimensional structure, placing the similar rows above to it. So how they are placed is giving the characteristics in two-dimensional arrangement. So based on the placing of the next layers, we have two types of two-dimensional arrangements possible for a solid. One is square close packing and another one is hexagonal close packing that we'll try to learn in the next information. Close packing in two dimension. Now what is a two dimension close packing? So two dimension close packing structures are obtained by placing the rows of close packed spheres one above the other. Whatever the row arrangement you have observed in the previous one dimension arrangement, you are going to place another rows of similar particles above to it. So that kind of row arrangement particles and placing one above the other leads to a two-dimensional close packing. Now such two-dimensional close packing is of two types. Now if you observe these, so we'll assume this as the first type and we'll assume this as the second type. So these are the two possible two-dimensional placing. Now if we take the first case, the rows are placed exactly as similar to the below row. Now, just to differentiate that all the rows are placed similarly, we'll assume each row as A. Now, whatever the A row in the previous case, just in the one dimension, whatever it is there, you can observe. So, we'll assume this as a one dimension row of A. Now, for that, if you consider the similar arrangement of one dimensional arrangement rows, one after the other, exactly placed above to it. So this kind of arrangement is called as square close packing in two-dimensional arrangement. Square close packing in two-dimensional arrangement. Why it is called as square close packing? Now we'll try to understand with the explanation. Now, if rows are placed exactly above the below rows, you take any one sphere here. Now, whatever this box shaped structure is there, you try to observe. Now, assume this sphere. So, I'm just putting a dot to indicate the center of that spherical shaped particle. So, if you take this dotted sphere, so which is in contact with four of its neighbors. If you take any particle in the square close packing, so each particle is in contact with four of its neighbors. So hence, coordination number in square close packing is 4. Now why it is called as square close packing? Because so if you join the centers of the spheres, so which are in contact for a particular sphere, we'll assume a shape of square. As this particular shape is a square shaped structure is formed if you join the center of all the neighboring spheres, so it is called as square close packing. Hope it is clear. Now the two-dimensional arrangement is formed by placing the rows one above the other. If the row is placed in such a way that exactly similar to the below rows, then we are going to see the arrangement like this. If we take any particle, so it is in contact with four of its neighbors, so which upon joining by straight lines, so of its center points will form a square structure. So hence, so it is called as square close packing. Now I will take one more here. Assume this one more particle. Now this particle is in contact with four of its neighbors. Now this particle is in contact with four of its neighbors. You can observe here. This is one contact. So this is a contact point for the sphere, and this is one more contact point, and this is one more contact point. Indicates that the sphere which is here is in contact with four of its neighboring particles. If you join the centers of such neighboring particles, or if you join the centers of such particles, that is the neighboring particles, again will assume the shape of a square. So as the shape of a square is formed by joining the centers of neighboring particles. So whatever the particles which you take in the two-dimensional arrangement of the layers placed exactly one above the other, that is the rows placed exactly one above the other, we are going to get a square close pattern. So this kind of arrangement is called as a two-dimensional square close packing. So where the coordination number in the arrangement will be 4. So this is the first possible way of arrangement. Now we'll go for the second one. Now if you observe the second one, so the rows are placed, whatever the next row when you are placing, the row is placed in the depression of the below row. Just focus on the pointer, what I am showing and what I am writing, so that you will be easily understand the illustrative diagram with supportive explanation. Just focus very clearly. Now, so if you take the below row, we'll consider below row as A, and the row which is placing, so we'll consider as above row. So this will assume it as B. Now, if you place the row B in the depressions caused by the row A. Now, if you take this, now this is the depression of the below row. Now, this is a particle. This is a particle. Now, between the particles of the arrangement, so this particular portion is the depression. So, in the depression, you are placing that. So, just assume this diagram. So, below what I am writing. Now, if you keep on writing the particles like this, so assume this as the first row. And when you are placing the second row B, so you try to place the particle in the depression created by the first row. Just to show the structure, you can write a simple spherical shaped information. Again, the next layer, A-like arrangement, you can repeat. Again, it is placed in the depressions created by the below layer. So like this, if you keep on placing the rows in such a way that each row particles are placed in the depressions created by the below rows. So if you take any particle, its neighboring contact, if you observe, so this is one particle, this is second particle, this is the third particle, this is the fourth particle which is in contact, so this is the fifth particle, and this will be the sixth contact particle. Now, if you place a row in such a way that, so the depression of the previous row, so if you are placing the next row, then in such case of arrangement, each particle is in contact with 6 of its neighboring particles. If you join the centers of each such neighboring particles of a given sphere, so with a coordination number, it is in contact with 6, will form a shape of the hexagon. Hence, it is called as hexagon. It is hexagonal close packing in 2 dimensions. Now the placement of the below row and above row, if you take, above rows are placed in the depressions created by the previous row. So in this case of depressions, you're going to see this kind of empty spaces, so which are formed like this. So in one case, it will be above. So we'll call this as apex. Apex is above, and in the other case, apex is below. Next, it will come apex above, apex below. Like this, the arrangement will go. So what I am speaking is this space. So we'll try to discuss this in detail. Now just you can understand hexagonal close packing first. So placing the layers in the depressions created by the below row will form a hexagonal close packing. If you place the layers exactly the below layer arrangement will form square close packing. Placing the rows in the depressions created by the below rows will form hexagonal close packing. Now these are the two ways of obtaining the two-dimensional structure. So one is square close packing, in 2 dimension, and another one is hexagonal close packing. So first to understand, so in the 1 dimension, arrangement of all the particles in a row, whereas in the case of 2 dimension, so placing the rows one above the other. Just to give the information of square close packing and hexagonal close packing, here 4 rows are mentioned. So like this, the entire crystal arrangement we need to imagine. Hope the information is clear. Now here we'll extend the concept with the information of voids or holes. Now if you observe in the previous arrangement here, so either in square close packing or in hexagonal close packing, you just observe this, these empty spaces. Now as though the particles are compactly arranged, which are hard spheres, rigid bodies, whatever if you take. So as though in that compact arrangement, you are going to see this kind of empty spaces, either in the form of triangular shape as apex upward, apex downward in the case of hexagonal close packing, or so with this kind of shape of the empty space in the case of square close packing. Whatever is the pattern of packing of 2 dimension, we are going to see the empty spaces in it. So this one, and if you take this one, all this will be the empty spaces. So such empty spaces are referred to as voids. With respect to crystal definition terms, the term used for empty spaces formed in the regular arrangement of particles is called as voids. Now we'll try to observe that. So now what are voids? So voids are holes. So we can call it as empty spaces between the particles. Now if we observe the detailed information of voids, a crystal is formed as a result of close packing of its constituent particles, which are supposed to have the spherical shapes. Since the spheres touch each other only at points, there must remain some empty spaces between them. These empty spaces are called as voids or holes. That means if you take in the case of that is square close packing, that is placing the rows exactly similar to the below, or if you take the arrangement in the form of hexagonal close packing, either in square close packing or hexagonal close packing, we are going to see that the empty spaces are formed. So such empty spaces where there is no particle, so such empty spaces between the arrangement of particles is called as voids or holes. So this, in the three-dimensional arrangement, we are understanding two important types of voids, that is tetrahedral voids and octahedral voids. That will try to give much importance. So we'll go with that next level of the arrangement of particles. It is close packing in three dimensions. Again, if we take the two-dimensional structures, that is either SCP or HCP of two-dimensional structure, placing that one above the other, so that we'll call it as layers. Whatever the structure formed in two dimension, either in SCP or in HCP, that is simple, that is square close packing or hexagonal close packing. So that formed two dimension will considered as layers. We are placing such layers one above the other. So how it results, so we'll try to understand its three-dimensional structure. So three-dimensional close packing from two-dimensional square close packed structure and three-dimensional close packing from two-dimensional hexagonal close packed structure. There are two possibilities of understanding the three-dimensional structure again. So placing SCP layers one above the other, that is three-dimensional structure formed by using two-dimensional square close packing. Similarly, three-dimensional structure formed by hexagonal close packing. So we'll learn one by one. So here the diagrams and imagination is very much required. So whatever the supportive animation videos or 3D models, so I will share to you. So better try to understand all with supportive concepts explained in the class, so that it will be easy for you to relate the concept. Now close packing in three dimension with respect to square close packing. Now whatever the square close packed structures of two-dimensional structure, now consider this is a like row arrangement, so which are formed as one particular two-dimensional structure. So like that you are placing all the layers, so we'll call this particular as layer arrangement, stacking the layers. If you keep on stacking the two-dimensional square close packed layers one after the other, and if you take and if you join the neighboring particles, center of the neighboring particle, always from the two-dimensional SCP, you are going to get a simple cubic system. Simple cubic system is generated. That is, each particle is in contact with 8 of its neighbors. So each particle will be in contact with 8 of its neighbors and will result in simple cubic system or primitive type of system. So what we learned as types of units, so you can imagine. So three-dimensional square close packing from two-dimensional structure will result in the formation of simple or cubic system or primitive unit system. So with this, we'll try to stop for today's class. There is a small continuation, so we'll be complete the arrangement in the next class. It will be hexagonal close packing in three dimensions. So and we'll understand the types of voids, that is tetrahedral and octahedral voids, and we'll try to complete that, and we'll go for the packing efficiency calculations in our next class. So just focus these diagrams and the information. So one activity I can suggest for you, so to understand the structures in a better way, so what you can do is that you can take a small spherical balls, either you take thermocol balls, so which are small in size, just to imagine the structure, it will help. To try to take the similar size thermocol balls and you take a stick, a small stick like a toothpick you can use. So maximum 4 spheres which are with small size thermocol balls, you try to join or you can stick to it. So ball and stick model, what we can call, you can create like that. So that means, so four particles, so you can arrange, so four particles in one toothpick you can arrange, or a small stick you can take. So you try to place such one row above to it, depressions created by the below row, like that you try to imagine and you work with the model. So it will support for you to remember the structures and the arrangements in a better way. So with this, we'll stop for today's class. So in the next class, we'll complete with the structural aspect with respect to solids. Thank you.